Now we are staying on the mobility tip next up and speaking high performance innovations. Who better to speak high performance than Porsche? Please put your hands together for Anja Hendel, Director of Innovation and Digital Transformation at Porsche, and Juliana, Editor-in-Chief of Asian Scientist. Welcome to Innovfest Unbound.
Good morning, Innovfest Unbound. Good morning, Singapore. Are you still with us? Yes? Hungry? Porsche is a brand known worldwide for its excellence in design and performance, which is why it is my great pleasure to share the stage with Anja Hendel, Director of the Porsche Digital Lab in Berlin. Welcome to Singapore, Anja.
Thanks for having me.
So as you can see, there's a full house crowd today. I was told 17,000 people are here.
Wow.
And everyone is hustling. Everyone is engaging in some form of networking, deal flow, deal making, pitching. I thought I'd get the party started by delivering the first pitch of the season on stage with you, if that's all right.
Now I'm excited. Tell me.
Well, I travel every year to Berlin for the anniversary of the day the Berlin Wall fell. This is, of course, 9 November, and there's a conference organized by the Berlin government. I was wondering, when I'm there, would you be able to give me a tour of your lab?
Sure, I can.
But there's a catch. There is a catch. There's always a catch. I don't want the PR tour. I want to see the secret rooms in the digital lab. I can imagine it must feel like walking through a James Bond movie.
I mean, lucky you. I mean, the lab is really positioned where the wall was, so it fits to your conference. But we mainly focus on future technologies. So we can show you some neural networks and some blockchain coding stuff of smart contracts, but this is the secret stuff, not so much James Bond.
Well, I knew if I asked you on stage, it's hard for you to say no, Anja.
But I can even do better. I mean, what's your favorite car?
Well, now that you're asking, if cost wasn't a problem, I'll be driving a 911 right now, right? Wouldn't we all? Would you?
So I can pick you up from the airport with one.
Really?
So, yeah,
Really?
before the tour. So
Thank you.
I think
That's
we should do this.
awesome. Thank you. You see, that's what I like about my job. I get to see, cool gadgets, driving fast cars. What's there not to love? But on to more serious matters, Anja. I think I can say safely that you have many fans in this room. Porsche is truly a favorite in the region. And Singaporeans especially, we love our cars. We had better love our cars because they are so expensive over here. But what I can say is that I think we are very familiar with the past of Porsche. We like our vintage 911s. But we may not be as familiar with the future of Porsche. And that's what the Digital Lab represents. Could you share with us what is the view on innovation and change? And with regards to, for example, artificial intelligence?
Sure, I can. I mean, the sports car got 70 years old last year. So, but what we see is that during the next 7 years, there will be more change than during the last 70. So we really have to prepare ourselves for all the changes because you cannot predict the future, right? But you can try to put you in the right position to act when the changes happen. So what we try to do is we try to focus a lot on new technologies in Berlin to really understand them and show Porsche the opportunities which these technologies can provide to the organization and build first use cases which are meaningful for the organization with these technologies.
So I know that you are also including blockchain features in your cars. Could you share with us a little bit more about how are you using blockchain in your cars?
Yeah, security is obviously a big point for us. I mean, our drivers and our customers are for us the first priority, so the aspects of security and transparency are quite interesting in this field. So what we do is, or what we did 2 years ago, I think, had some first experiments to bring the blockchain in the car for some quite basic use cases, like opening the car, doing a certain time space, if somebody wants to deliver a package or not, and see how this is working, and if we see with blockchain more added value than with other technologies in this space. So this is really what we do.
Well, I edit a magazine called Asian Scientist, so I tend to watch what's going on in the region. And I've noticed a fair number of unicorns emerging out of countries like China, for example. You have SenseTime that does AI in China, and then you have all sorts of technologies coming out of, say, South Korea, China, Southeast Asia. How does Porsche view the shift in the center of gravity of research and development from the West increasingly to the East?
Yeah, that's why I'm very happy to be here in Singapore. Luckily, we have Porsche Asia Pacific in Singapore located, so which is for us very much the gateway between the East and the West. And I'm really impressed what I saw during the last days here. I had some nice pictures from startups, and we really can see how, I wouldn't say ahead, but how open for new technologies this region is. So it's really inspiring for us, and I'm happy to bring some nice startup ideas and collaborations with me to Stuttgart and Berlin next week.
Well, the good news is that China is now your single largest market. So I'm just curious, in your lab, are you making any innovations targeted at the Chinese consumer?
Yeah. I mean, this is really what it's all about. If you talk about digital transformation, right? I mean, we have to focus more on the local user groups, and we have the good potential to really see what customers want in each and every region. It's not that you can make this one size fits all. It's really that you have to start to listen carefully to the certain markets. And obviously, Asia is quite ahead when it comes to digitalization.
You may be aware that every year in Singapore we have the night race for the Formula One, and it's really a good fun. There are parties everywhere. But I actually think that EDB and STB, if you're in the room, we need to bring in a second race, and that will be Formula E, E for electric. I'm aware that Porsche has decided to enter the race with a big bang this year. Could you give me the inside scoop of how does Porsche intend to dominate the race? I hope.
Yeah, sure. It's a big year for us in terms of electrification. We will announce our new fully electric car in September, so it's the first time to see it by then. We will introduce it in many regions at the same day, so yeah, better watch out in September. Nevertheless, we also start with the Formula E race in December in Riyadh, which is for us a big thing, because even if we have this great tradition in racing, we really know that we have to start from zero now, because running electric races is a totally different story. So we have to stay humble, but bold, to work hard, to be as successful as we have been in the past.
I like that, start from zero. I mean, speaking about starting from zero, you two have your own startup program in your Berlin lab, which is called, by the way, Startup Autobahn. I thought that's a very clever name to call a startup incubator.
Yeah, I think this is quite interesting program. We need to bring more ideas from all over the world to our headquarters to bring them to our products and cars. So that's why we introduced the Startup Autobahn together with the ecosystem in the south of Germany, around Stuttgart, where we have also Daimler, DHL, BASF, which are all joining this program. So startups from all over the world, also from Asia, invited to join us there for 100 days to really bring your ideas, your startup ideas into these companies, work with our employees to really bring it to production.
Well, we have time for one last question, you know, and of course I've left the most important one, the million-dollar question, to the last. So if you look around in this conference today, I hope you get a chance to speak to the people around here. You'll find that there are many, young and hardworking, hackers, developers, coders, you name it. And I think it'll be a dream come true for many of them to work on blockchain and AI projects in your lab. So the question is, are you hiring? And perhaps what are you looking for? What kind of talent?
Yeah, sure. We are hiring. We are looking for tech talent all over the world. It's quite easy to work in Berlin, but we have also subsidiaries in Shanghai, and we are looking for other ones in Asia. So there's a possibility for this for sure. But you do not have to quit your job if you want to work with us, and you do not have. You can, but you do not have to. Whenever you have a good idea, we just launched Mobility for a Better World competition. So you can really apply with your ideas for around real cities, people, and trust. And if you win, you can build some first prototypes with us in the lab. So I'm looking forward for a lot of Asian ideas in these categories.
Well, thank you so much, Anja. Tomorrow morning, when you open your email inbox, you might get a surprise and find my resume in there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together to give a round of applause to Anja for spending her morning with us? Thank you. Thank you, Anja. I'm Juliana Chan, Asian scientist. Have a nice day. See you.